So able to win balls back further away from goal, not allowing counters to get started, Chris. That's how you generate offense of good defensive posture. And when you have the ball, you move the ball, you get numbers in higher positions, closer together. When it turns over, you're in a much better position to get it back as well. In prior games, I felt they were stretched all the time. They're always chasing people 40 or 50 yards in transition, defensive transition, and gave up some goals that could have been easily prevented. So they tighten up defensively. Can they now, as you said, Chris, play a team off the park and win comfortably? That's the next step for this team. And as I said again, only time will tell if this confidence, the way they've played, if that can translate into, again, another 90-minute performance, keeping a clean sheet, but putting teams away.
And we've talked, you mentioned as another step, right, in the growth of this expansion club. And throughout the whole season, you and I have been chronicling the steps of an expansion team, and you manage one in Chivas USA, and you've talked about moments in which things can go wrong and things can go right. Having won now 2
now might be based a little bit on the opponents. I think what has happened in the last two games is that the coaching staff has done a better job in preparing their team for the opponent and what to expect from a tactical standpoint.
Yeah.
They weren't surprised in both games that they won now. In previous games, Chris, where they struggled for reasons that they weren't prepared enough. And I think that one or two statements where some of the players were made in regards to that as well. So it's a better prepared team. It's tactically now pretty sound, and it's added a component in Higuain that scares everybody else, but also elevates. And that's what great players do. They make players around them better, and that's what Higuain has done without a doubt.
And let's just bring the full team. We're going to welcome in guest Michelle Kaufman of the Miami Herald in a moment. But first, the starting Inter Miami team will see John McCarthy in goal, a back four right to left of Dylan Nealis, Nicolas Figal, Leandro Gonzalez Pires, and Ben Sweat. So Ben Sweat coming into the team as one of the two changes. And then you have in the middle, Will Trapp, Blaise Matuidi, and Victor Ulloa. The second time we've seen that combination of three. And then Lewis Morgan down the right, Gonzalo Higuain up top, and Matias Pellegrini down the left-hand side. As we welcome in Michelle Kaufman, who covers Inter Miami for the Miami Herald. And Michelle, when you look at this Inter Miami team and this run of results, we now head into this match tonight where you have it's a playoff six-pointer. Atlanta sit just above that playoff line. You have Montreal at the weekend, which is another huge game to come. How important is this for you?
For me or for them?
Well, right.
For them. Well, for me, only in the sense that when teams win, people read more, care more about the team. So we pretend to be objective, but the truth is when you're covering a team that's winning, that has the chance of being in the playoffs, there's a lot more interest from the fans than a team that's in last place and isn't going anywhere. So, yeah, there's definitely more interest as the team starts winning.
So what for you has been the source of the winning in the last couple of games? The Red Bulls' performance was a little shaky until they got the equalizing goal, and then they were able to settle in. But on Saturday, it was a little bit of a different story where they were able to be on top. What's been the thing that's kind of led to that level of success?
I think his name is Higuain. I think that Gonzalo everybody that I've spoken to, connected with the team, says the same thing. He elevates everybody around him. It's not just the forwards, it's everybody. And the one thing everyone keeps bringing up is his commitment. The word commitment keeps coming up with players that I've spoken to, that you're never sure when you're getting someone of that stature coming from Europe, how are they going to be when they get here? What level of commitment, what kind of work ethic are they going to have? How seriously are they going to take it? And everything I've heard is that he has been absolutely 100 and beyond committed to this team, to this league, and to elevating not only the play of the forwards and the attack, but elevating the play of the whole team.
And that's great. I mean, I was there in the inaugural year in 1996 when I coached the Tampa Bay Mutiny, and Carlos Valderrama bought into helping this league become better, helping younger players like a Steve Ralston, that's a FIU graduate, by the way, that I picked very late and became the Rookie of the Year. Marco Echeverri in DC, very similar as well. Great players somehow are able to elevate players around them, and that's what Higuain has done. And going into the international player, great article today. I didn't read it in detail, but enough to understand now why we have so many South American players. And I've just touched on two, obviously, that were here very early in MLS. But now we've seen an exodus, in particular from Argentinian players.
There are 42 Argentines in the league right now. There are 192 Latin American players in MLS, 42 from Argentina, which is the most of any country, which is more than doubled in the last 3 years. And 6 of them are on this team, 6 Argentines on this team.
And for those of you that haven't read it, check it out, MiamiHerald.com, Michelle Kaufman's article today on the 192 South American players and Latin American players that are in MLS. Within this team, though, how much does that lead to the comfort and the buy-in from Gonzalo Higuain when you have multiple Argentinians? Today, his brother, Federico, named to the bench. It does seem like, at the very least, some of this environment has been cultivated to make a player like Gonzalo Higuain comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he gets here and he can speak his language. You know, even in Italy, everybody's not speaking Spanish. He comes to this team. The coach and most of his assistants are conducting practices in Spanish. He can turn on the radio on any station on the car and listen to Latin music. You go to any restaurant or store, people are speaking Spanish. And then his teammates, 9 players are from Latin America on this team. And the ones who are hyphenated Americans also speak Spanish, a lot of them on this team. So the vast majority of the players on this team are bilingual with Spanish. It's a very, very comfortable place. That's one of the things I mentioned in my story that Paul McDonough said, that South American players feel very at home in the United States because it's a very bilingual society. Not only in Miami, of course in Miami, and LA and New York, but even in places like Columbus, Ohio, and wherever you go in the United States, you're going to find a Hispanic community, and it's very welcoming to the Latin American player.
It certainly is, and the players that played for me always talked about a great place for a family. This country, let's be real honest, we have a lot of not so good things, but from living circumstances, in particular if you go to Argentina, where some players don't get paid, which you mentioned in your article as well. The evolution I've noticed is because early on it were older players from South America. Now we've seen younger DPs. We've seen players like Paul McDonough with Altimurón in Atlanta going to England for a pretty big fee. It's a springboard now as well. And as Michelle just mentioned, it pretty much, this team now represents this community.
Yeah.
As the Fort Lauderdale Strikers did back then, which our audience was predominantly European, we have mostly European players and mostly English players. Paul Newman, the coach Ron Newman, being the catalyst to make this a very special place on game day, and hopefully we'll get there one day as well when the pandemic finally will be over, and time only will be tell. But you've seen a very interesting evolution of foreign players, particularly from Central and South America, coming here as well. And one other thing. When I traveled as the chief scout of the U.S. national team, or to sign players from a respective MLS teams, and I coached 4 of them, too many, quite frankly. I like the Argentinian player over all the other countries for several reasons. A, they come to play each and every day. They're tough. They're tough, these guys.
Yeah.
Mentally tough, physically tough.
You can see it in their yellow card counts.
And they travel well too. Mm-hmm. The Peruvian player, little bit introvert, had a tough time. The Argentinians, Uruguayans are the ones that I always sought out because of their character traits, both on and off the field.
They're very adaptable. That
Yes.
came up a lot in my interviews, that the Argentine players are, all the South American players and Central American have an incredible passion for the game. But the Argentines, they say, are very, very adaptable to whatever the team is, to whatever the society is in that community that they live in. They seem to adapt well. So, yeah. And then as far as the age getting younger and younger, I mean, they're trying to make MLS more of a selling league than just a buying league. For a long time, they were just buying name players. Now they want to sell players and make a profit. And that is the way they do it around the world. You get a young player, they develop in your league, and then you sell them and you make a huge profit, and you use that money to invest in the next year's team. So that is that's the financial model that MLS is going after now, taking guys like Matias Pellegrini and Nico Figal and some of these guys that were not so well known, but were doing, well on their teams in Latin America. Bring them here, and then this is a stage for them to showcase their skills and maybe get to Europe and get a big signing, transfer fee, and then that helps Inter Miami in the future as well.
That was never part of the business plan when I coached in the league.
Yeah.
Even Robert Kraft, a very smart guy, never talked about selling players. And Michel, that's a huge difference now.
Yeah.
Atlanta probably being the team that really pushed that envelope
opened the
really
door,
high
and
by investing a lot, with the understanding that they might at the back end recoup some as well. Saying that this is probably the poorest Atlanta team on paper I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this is 3 years later after they rocked MLS basically with a team that was pretty darn good.
It shows that it's not easy, and other clubs have sold, and we'll see if they go again. Michelle Kaufman, thank you so much for stopping by, and again, you can read her article MiamiHerald.com on the coverage of Latin American players in South Florida. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks. It was great to see you. And you see there's fans here today.
Yeah. There are supporters in
the building.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We were told 360 will be in the ground tonight. So we'll tell you more about that as we carry on. Inter Miami and Atlanta United coming up at the top of the hour. Welcome back to continuing coverage of Inter Miami and Atlanta United kickoff at the top of the hour from the Inter Miami CF Stadium. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rangen will be joined for the radio commentary as well by Fernando Fiore. If you're watching us here in the Inter Miami app, you will see the live broadcast of the game if you're in the South Florida area with Andres Cordero, Ray Hudson, and Kalen Kyle on the commentary. If you're outside of the South Florida area, you will see our radio broadcast. This view in the booth right here is myself, Thomas Rangen, and Fernando Fiore will call the game. And we mentioned it with Michelle, but you heard some drum beats in the stadium. There are a set of socially distanced supporters in the ground tonight, 360 in total. Some of them have been gathering at the gates outside the stadium to watch from outside, so they figured let a few of them in. So 360 invite only. They were not charged entrance. They were not charged admission. They were not charged parking, and so they could just set up here at the stadium, and they'll be here for the duration of it. A nice gesture for really a group of supporters that have never seen their club play in their home stadium. Some of them did go to Los Angeles to watch them play their first match at LAFC, but I mean, it's been a long wait for those supporters to watch live games, and they finally get to do it from inside the stadium tonight.
Yeah, and I hope the team repays them as well. It's a small group, but it's very vocal. We can hear them through the glass, by the way.
Yep.
It's not only great for them, it's brilliant what this organization has done top to bottom from day one. And now again, with basically saying, you know what, you guys deserve to see this team while you've been in the rain there for many, many games. With your drums and whatever.
During lightning delays.
And I'm telling you, the team will respond to that. It's a small group, but it's a very vocal group. So that's nice from a player perspective, too. It's hard to play in sterile environments over and over and over again. So a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of home field advantage, so to speak, behind that goal right there, where they can now start jiving the goalkeeper, the opposing goalkeeper a little bit, which is Brett Guzan, obviously, who's going to thick skin.
He's been there before. He's been there before.
Yeah. I'm sure he hurt worse in England and with the U.S. national team.
Yeah, away in CONCACAF, I imagine, it can get pretty bad.
In Honduras, El Salvador, wherever you're right, Chris.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. And Inter Miami tonight make 2 changes from the team that played Houston Dynamo. Ben Sweat coming in for Breck Shea. In the last match, we talked about it during commentary. Breck Shea didn't have his best match. Ben Sweat, I think, probably did need a rest, and I think there might be a few others that might get one at some point. When he's had the opportunity to play with Matsuri off the left, usually Juan Agudelo on the left-hand side as well, he's been able to get into good attacking positions. I think in the last match we saw Miami kept possession well, but it kept getting into the wide areas, and they needed a bit more. Do you think Sweat can offer that?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Again, if you look at momentum was started with the change of formation, right?
Yeah.
Quite frankly, a 3-4-3 that in essence became for this team. Sometimes a 5, depending on how well the opposing team was doing in terms of possession. But in both games, I thought that we were the better team, had more possession, and that system worked somewhere, particularly with Morgan and Pellegrini playing underneath Higuain in the trident with Nealis and Sweat as true fullbacks that need some time to get higher up the field. That gives you width. That probably will force, as you said, Chris, Pellegrini and Morgan initially starting position a little bit wider. And I'm just not so sure with that defensive midfield or basically a defensive block of 3 that really hasn't worked, in my opinion, when they play together, with the exception maybe of one half.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised in saying that, though. I've not scouted Atlanta as vigorously. I don't know what's going on with fitness and things like that. And I'm sure that they're looking at a front 3 of Atlanta, with in particular Jurgen Damm, that you might want to say, you know what, we're building a little bit security with more of a natural left fullback, but it's very good going forward, as you said, an outlet in Ben Sweat, but it also has to take care of Jurgen Damm, who's probably one of the quicker players in MLS. So they've looked at that 11 potentially that will play for Atlanta and made the adjustment accordingly. And from there, still, I hope to think that we can maintain possession, that we play on behalf of the opponent, and that LGP and Figal can maybe start springing some balls from midfield, because they're dealing with one front runner.
Yeah.
So if they stretch a little bit, and now they can play a 2v1, or they add Will Trapp to that as well, a 3v1, I think that allows us with 2 or 3 shorter passes to get Nealis and Sweat in higher positions where we can find them. And now all of a sudden, Pellegrini and Morgan can play out to in and closer to Higuain and play, which they've done so well between the lines, the midfield and defensive line, where they've collected balls. And Morgan, again, in his first touch, always wants to go to goal. That has put teams under tremendous duress. And Higuain always occupied the 2 center backs. To me, the key to success, again, will be Pellegrini and Morgan today. You
mentioned, as it relates Atlanta United in the previous segment, that on paper this is not a very strong team. And I think we should document just how so. So they start the year with 3 DPs. They've spent a lot of money on them. Joseph Martinez, who's been an MLS Golden Boot winner and has been one of the top center forwards in the league since he joined. He tore his ACL in the first match against Nashville. It's a brutal loss. Then Pity Martinez, who was South American Player of the Year before arriving, was a huge money signing, and a lot of people thought would come in and make a huge impact on the league. He didn't really, and in the end, they've sold him to Saudi Arabia at a club called Al Nasser, so they're without him. Ezequiel Barco has been a bit up and down. At times he's looked like a $15 million player, and at times he very much has not. He is carrying a knock. He's not available for selection tonight. So already you have 3 DPs. They're out. You brought in Jurgen Damm from Tigres, a player with a ton of pace, who has not played a great deal before arriving, and so is carrying an injury and is not available for selection tonight.
I have to correct myself. That's right. Castro is playing. Dub started the last game. But again, he carries the knock.
But I think it's important to know. And then they signed another DP, Marcelino Moreno, a number 10 from Lanús in Argentina, who they want to eventually, really carry this team forward. He's unavailable for selection tonight. Actually, it was a remarkable story. On Saturday, he played on Saturday against the Red Bulls. Started and played 60 minutes. He was cleared from quarantine on Friday. Met his teammates on Saturday, and then played with them on Saturday night. So it was incredibly remarkable. He was even able to give them what he gave them. He's not available tonight, I guess. After playing 60 minutes, he's probably just a bit tired, having not played a fully competitive game since March. So he's out tonight. You have Eric Torres, who's been a Mexican international. He's on the bench. He's also recovering. So that's 6-7 attacking options that you start the year with that you don't have tonight, and thus you end up with John Gallagher, a bit of a journeyman who last year was on loan with Aberdeen, Adam John, a former USL striker with Phoenix Rising, and Manuel Castro, a player on loan from Argentina who has not really hit the ground running. And you just kind of look at that lineup and don't see a ton of attacking threat. So maybe the change to the back four isn't that big of a deal because you're not going to be under
force Castro and Gallagher to defend them. And then if you can do that, all of a sudden now you can play underneath with Matuidi and with Uyola, who are all both good passers of the ball. We'll keep it moving. I'm still looking at who's going to be the creative force. And it's falling onto Pellegrini, and Morgan can sweat give us a little bit more on that left side.
Yeah, so Atlanta actually making 4 changes from the team. They lost to the Red Bulls at the weekend by a 0-0. Again, Atlanta just above the playoff line on 20 points from their, on 18 points from their opening 17 games. So Miami well within touching distance. It's Inter Miami and Atlanta United coming up.
Second victory in a row. I think going into it, we just wanted to minimize our mistakes. It was a home game. I think we want to defend the stadium as our home. We don't want to let anyone come in here and take 3 points away from us. And like I said, we just wanted to carry the momentum going forward each and every week.
Gonzalo Higuain gets us started. It is Inter Miami playing host to Houston Dynamo at the Inter Miami CF Stadium. Gonzalo Higuain can run at goal. Gonzalo Higuain going to let up a strike. He has a go, and it's just gone wide. What a hit!
I think we all realize we got to get results pretty quickly. We gotta trust the process. It's been a long year, but I think we're all coming together. Adding pieces along the way, and they're fitting in perfectly.
Behind towards Lasser, first time from Quintero, and John McCarthy after having nothing to do with a tremendous save. Morgan, lovely one-touch play. Morgan, first time strike, forces a brilliant save out of Marco Maric. Good ball there from Gonzalez Pires into Higuain. Higuain getting turned, having a strike. It took a deflection, and Maric with a save down to his right. And now the referee, after Quintero left the throw, and will blow his whistle for halftime. So Inter Miami have dominated the balance of play, but have yet to create that clear goal-scoring chance to give themselves the lead in this one.
Sí, me sentí bien defensivamente también, ayudando al equipo, como nos pide el cuerpo técnico, que la defensa arranca desde el ataque, desde los delanteros. Así que bien satisfecho por el partido, contento por la victoria y por el rendimiento de todo el equipo.
And we are underway here in the Second 45 minutes of play into Miami and Houston. There's Lewis Morgan's delivery in towards that near post. It's come through Gonzalez. His arms around him the whole way, and a penalty has been awarded. Is taken to the bottom right-hand corner. The opening goal for Inter Miami as he sends Marco Maric the wrong way. And in the 57th minute of play, the penalty has given Inter Miami the lead by a goal to nil.
Lewis sí es un gran jugador. Está mejorando todos los días. Vi una mejora muy grande en él desde que comenzamos. Está con mucha confianza, nos ayuda mucho a todos. Y aparte de eso es una gran persona que tira siempre para adelante, así que eso también es muy importante para todos nosotros. Sí, es así como dijo Diego, hemos mejorado muchísimo desde que volvimos de Orlando, el equipo se está afianzando a poco, sabíamos que iba a ser difícil porque era un equipo todo nuevo, que había que acoplarse y acomodarse todo, pero de a poco lo estamos logrando, nos vamos sintiendo mucho mejor y por suerte pudimos conseguir 2 victorias muy importantes para todos.
There is the full-time whistle. Inter Miami just needed one tonight. Lewis Morgan from the penalty spot is enough to beat Houston Dynamo. And we are building up to Inter Miami and Atlanta United coming up at the top of the hour. If you're in the South Florida area, you will see our live commentary with Andres Cordero, Ray Hudson, and Kalen Kyle. If you're outside of the South Florida area, you will watch the game with us. Myself, Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rangen, Fernando Fiore will be along as well to bring you all of the live radio calls of this one. And it's Inter Miami and Atlanta United coming up tonight. I want to get into our players to watch here, Thomas Rangen, and I want to start with the player who's on form right now for Inter Miami, and that's Lewis Morgan. Had a brace against Atlanta United earlier on this season. Then Lewis picks up another brace against New York City FC. Scores for the penalty spot at the weekend. In total, 5 goals and 5 assists. What's been clicking for Lewis Morgan in recent times?
Sometimes systems and positional changes helps a player. I felt that Morgan was probably our most consistent players throughout this whole season on that right side. Predominantly, but the last 2 games he's been able to play in to out, so to speak, closer to goal, closer to Higuain, and I feel that's really helped him and helped the team, quite frankly, maintaining possession. He's so good in his first touch, and then he goes at people. He looks to combine with Higuain right now. We found finally a station up front that we didn't have in prior years. He's been able to play a little bit higher up the pitch, which means he can be more efficient and effective in terms of his physical duration, so to speak. He used to do 80-yard doggies, about 60 of them during a game. Now all of a sudden it's being reduced to 40-yard doggies, so to speak, because the wide players would run into was Brett Shea and Nealis, so he's been relieved a little bit of his hard defensive responsibility. So that's helped him. And if you have to pick a player of the year, so to speak, right now, you probably have to pick Morgan for not only his play, but also, as you always said, value to this team. Because this is not a DP. No. This is not a youth DP. This is not a Will Trapp at $500,000. This is a guy that makes decent money, but if you probably look at the starting 11, it's probably in the bottom 3 or 4, and then you just go as an organization, wow, we hit a home run with Lewis Morgan.
Right, I think he's probably been their best acquisition. I mean, other than Gonzalo Higuain, early doors as well. Now, on the defensive side of things, I think you really have to look at John McCarthy and the work that he's done since coming in for Luis Robles. There were some real questions about whether or not that defense would hold up with him. They've only given up 1 goal in 2 games. He picks up his first clean sheet in MLS in more than 2 years. For me, it couldn't have gone better with John McCarthy coming in for Robles.
No, and it shows you the depth of goalkeepers in the United States that have done so well. We got a guy at Manchester City right now, so in that position we used to have Tim Howard and Casey Keller and Brett Friedel.
Brad Guzan is in the opposing goal tonight.
Absolutely. And then McCarthy, as you said again, one of the hardest jobs anywhere in the field is being a backup goalkeeper, because you get your rhythm and your real sharpness in real games, not taking 20 shots in practice where guys at the end of practice put normally the backup goalkeeper in there because Robles goes, yeah, okay, whatever. And Higuain just hits about 6,000 at you. You just got to go like this. And for him to come in, Chris, and command his box with such ease, And you said it, that first ball he grabbed, which is so important for a field player, that first touch of the ball. If it's clean, if it's good, you're going to go, okay, I'm in the game here.
Yeah.
If it's not, you struggle. And that first one, he came off his line, brought it in with ease, collected his back three. You can hear him, because we can't, without the crowd giving information. I've been very impressed by McCarthy, and one of the reasons why we picked him as one of the players to watch. A clean sheet, back-to-back wins, and following in the footsteps of a legend, captain as well,
Sure.
Robles. Well done, McCarthy.
And do well to come off his line against Houston to deny a chance to Ari Lassiter. Now, in terms of things you're watching out for in this game, one of the things you were talking about prior to the show was defensive transitions. And just in general, at times, Inter Miami looked a little bit vulnerable on the counter. I thought against Houston, when they did look like opportunities were on to break, they did enough, at least at times, to force a player to turn away from goal and to slow down their counters. What for you is the key in defensive transitions for this team?
First and foremost, more discipline in the re and rest organization. That's the guys that are furthest away from the ball, that fall asleep at times, including myself. When you look at, the cross is in the box, they're 60 yards away from goal, and now in modern football, 2 passes later, and they're off running. So they've done a better job organizing themselves, and because of the fact that we've been able to play a little bit higher the pitch and more compact by moving the ball when it turns over, Christo, we were always having 1 or 2 players around the ball. We fouled a little bit smarter and quicker in transition too, and we did not allow players on respective teams that have some juice, by the way, to turn and start running at you or running away from you. And those are the keys. We were thinking quicker, we were more proactive, we were reading situations quick. You got to sniff that second ball out somehow. We haven't done that very well. We've done it very well in the last 2 games, in particular the last game against Houston, where we seemed to win every second ball, kept possession alive, and denied that team of any good transition. If there was some transition, our 1v1 defending was pretty good, and at the end of the day, McCarthy came up with 1 or 2 big stops as well.
Inter Miami and Atlanta United coming up at the top of the hour. We should also say Federico Higuain is available from the bench tonight for the first time with Inter Miami after they acquired him on Saturday. So it's Inter Miami and Atlanta United. Again, if you're in the local area, you'll see the television broadcast with Andres Cordero, Ray Hudson, and Kalen Kyle. If you're outside of the Miami area, you'll watch our broadcast here at the radio broadcast. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rogan, Fernando Fiore. It's Inter Miami and Atlanta United, and it's coming up.
Baptist Health as well as Major League Soccer itself have been very, very helpful. The MLS has come up with certain guidelines in terms of testing our players. We have hand washing stations, we have sanitizing stations all over the training facility as well as the stadium itself.
We, along with Baptist Health doctors, have developed effective protocol for COVID-19. It has helped us limit the spread of COVID-19 and kept the players and staff safe. The COVID-19 protocol for Inter Miami, we test every other day for players and staff. We also screen players and staff when arriving to the training facility. Because of this effective protocol in place by Baptist Health doctors, we have had no positive tests since returning from Orlando.
Baptist Health wants everyone to stay healthy. Adhering to the guidelines that are recommended, those are the things that really are important.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
More moving horror stories.
Hey, I heard you're looking for a mover. I got a deal for you.
Staring at his mover out there.
Good Greek to the rescue.
As a former police officer, I've heard all of the moving horror stories. But you can trust me and my pros, and we'll have you saying, call Star Greek.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Off the back of their first two-match winning streak, Inter Miami enter their two most important games of the season. 6-pointers with Atlanta United and Montreal Impact, but tonight at the Inter Miami CF Stadium, it is Atlanta United. For the fourth time this season, Inter Miami and Atlanta United will face each other, and it's coming up next.
All mics are hot. You're live.
And welcome into live radio commentary of Inter Miami and Atlanta United. My name is Chris Whittingham. I'm joined by Fernando Fiore and Thomas Rongen for the radio call of this one. Inter Miami coming in off the back of a pair of victories in 4 days. A 2-1 over New York Red Bulls away and a 1-0 at home to Houston Dynamo last time out on Saturday night. And Fernando, as we enter this match here against Atlanta United, this is a huge one. If Miami win tonight, they have a chance to get into that top 10 should results go their way elsewhere. Actually, they will be in the top 10 guaranteed.
How you talk seriously to a guy that's wearing a what are you?
I'm building the team, man.
You're building the team.
I'm building the team along with Diego Alonso.
I love it.
So that's why I brought my hard hat today, because we are building a streak. Now we have 2 in a row. We're going for 3 in a row. I'm really happy. I see a lot of good things in this stadium. And on top of everything, it was a wonderful video on the screen of the stadium with Pipas brothers, because that's how I'm going to call them now.
You involved.
The Pipas brothers.
I'm going to call this team Argentina FC now.
The Argentinian FC. That's absolutely right. And there was a wonderful picture when the 2 Higuain brothers plus the other Higuain brother were together with his father when they were kids with a River Plate jersey. I saw that picture in the screen, and my heart was pumping out of the chest.
Soaring.
Poombi, 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 poombi,
For
poombi.
all the new owners out there, there's an MLS builder right here, by the way. If
That's
you
right.
need somebody to build your team, it's El Presidente.
It's me, especially when you recruit a lot of Argentinians.
And if
I'm
you're
from
just
River Plate also.
I know.
Yes.
Marcelo Gallardo.
Oh,
It's River Plate North here at Inter Miami. So the teams are walking out onto the field. Miami will wear La Rosa Negra this evening, the black and pink kits. We also have supporters in the ground. If you're just joining us, a set of invites were sent out to the 3 supporters clubs of Inter Miami, the Southern Legion, Vice City, and the Siege as well, given the opportunity to be here. So 360 socially distanced supporters are in the stand tonight. They will be here.
3 of them. So
you're paying card carrying member of all three.
I'm a member. I have my ID cards. I'm one of the very old members of the Southern Legion, which was our original group, and then they adopted me also with the Vice City and the Siege. So I'm a member of the three fan clubs. So
how many families do you have?
I should be there.
How many families you have adopted? I've adopted you. They've adopted you.
I feel. I mean,
guy.
given how much pizza he's gotten you, I feel like he's adopted you. To be fair,
we can have pizza every day from Papa John's.
Si, senor.
So Inter Miami will come out in their black with the pink accents. Atlanta United, the white with the gold, which it's a nice looking kit. Except for commentators, because we can't see the numbers.
True.
So we'll bear with that tonight. Inter Miami come out as such with two changes to the team that beat Houston Dynamo by a goal to nil. John McCarthy is in goal. A switch-in system back to a back four. Dylan Nealis right back. Nicolas Figal, Leandro Gonzalez-Pires, the center backs. Ben Sweat at left back. In central midfield, Will play the holding role with Blaise Matuidi and Victor Ulloa in front of him. And up top, it is Lewis Morgan down the right. Gonzalo Higuain up top for a fifth successive start. And Matias Pellegrini down the left-hand side. Federico Higuain available from the bench for the first time. For Atlanta United, is 4 changes from the team that lost to New York Red Bulls by a goal to nil at the weekend. Brad Guzan remains in goal. Brooks Lennon will play at right back. He's kind of drifted back and forth between right back and right winger. Miles Robinson and Tom Walks are the center backs. Miles Robinson among one of those changes coming in for Franco Escobar, who's not even available from the bench tonight for Atlanta. George Bello plays down the left. In central midfield, it is a 3 in the middle of the park with Jeff Laurentowicz, the longtime MLS veteran and 37-year-old, starting an 8th successive match alongside Eric Remedi. And in that number 10-ish role will be Emerson Hyman. Down the right in the forward line will be Manuel Castro, the player on loan from Estudiantes in Argentina, the club that Matias Pellegrini arrived from. Adam John is up top, the former Phoenix Rising, and John Gallagher, the Irish winger, will play down the left-hand side after starting the last match as a center forward. Our matchday referee is Ismail Elfath, and now all 22 players on the pitch will take the knee prior to kickoff. You heard during some of that the supporters in behind the goal. Inter Miami will go from left to right this evening in their black and pink kits. Atlanta from right to left. A nice, decent breeze here at the ground. It's been a lovely day. That actually saw Fort Lauderdale CF play here earlier today. As we are underway, Inter Miami will start with possession of the ball. Gonzalo Higuain will play it out to the right-hand side with Dylan Nealis after receiving from Blaise Matuidi. Now out to Figal at right center back, stinging it over to Gonzalez Pires. Just getting started here between Inter Miami and Atlanta United. Again, Atlanta entering 10th in the table, just the 1 point above Inter Miami with another draw rather than another defeat. Miami with a win tonight with Chicago Fire off due to a COVID situation with Minnesota United. Would be into the playoff places with a win tonight. As it comes to the left-hand side, Pellegrini outside of the boot ball in towards Ulloa, trying to get ahead of Miles Robinson, who does well to cover and sweep clear from his penalty area, booting it into the stand and out for a throw-in.
I like that, coach.
Yeah, without a doubt. And initially, we talked about that 4-3-3 different system. And you can see, again, Morgan still playing inside with Pellegrini the trident, Sweat and Nealis still being able to give you width there. I kind of like that. I was a little afraid that we were going to go conservative and push Pellegrini all the way out wide and Morgan here, but that doesn't seem to be that way. Width will be given at times by Pellegrini and Morgan, but again, that trident that El Presidente talked about has functioned so well.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm a little bit afraid of is that the players having to adapt from game to game and changing, the tactics, from 4 in the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, 3 in the back. Hopefully they are paying attention.
John Gallagher down the left-hand side, running inside. Figal thought the flag for a throw was going to come up and just kind of let him run. In the end, the cross comes to nothing. Nice back heel there from Pellegrini towards Matuidi, who now tries to loft it up towards Higuain and go up in the air. Miles Robinson, but Morgan has come flying through.
Come on, Captain!
He's in ahead of George Bello, tries to poke it towards goal, and it goes sailing over. Out for a goal kick. I think Morgan really identified that as the only option. He appreciated the idea, and it's gone out for a goal kick to Atlanta United. With 2 minutes gone, it remains 0-0.
And again, that was a ball by Matuidi looking for Higuain. Higuain occupying the 2 center backs, and Morgan playing again a little bit tighter of Higuain, almost in. Bello did a good job at just impeding him. Ulloa high right now in the press with Higuain. Good execution right there, forcing Atlanta to play through pressure, which is not their strength.
Robinson trying to play it up towards that left-hand side with Gallagher. It's one back by Trapp in the middle. Now Higuain on the edge of the D, trying to measure a left-footed strike. It takes a deflection. Higuain going to try and keep it in play. It comes off his chest. He does eventually claim, but Miami's press causing a problem there.
Very high pressure today. I don't know if this is the idea or it just happens that Atlanta is kind of slow, but I like it.
Poor back heel there from Manuel Castro on the right-hand side towards Lennon, thrown out for a throw-in. So Inter Miami will put it back in play. Now Figal.
Against a team like Atlanta, Chris, it is the right approach. 5 changes again. All the big-name players aren't there. This is a team for the taking.
Nice find. Nice find from LGP. Sweat is in behind us around. One defender walks, but it's over to cover again. Miles Robinson booting it out to touch for a throw-in for Inter Miami. Marcelino Moreno, their designated player, not available for selection tonight. Picked up was a bit sore. He hadn't played a competitive match for 7 months before playing an hour at the weekend against the Red Bulls.
Coach Glass was very pleased.
Nealis now in towards Morgan, but booted away there by Robinson. Up to Adam John. Gallagher now trying to get round Nicolas Figal, who will continue to try and harry him. And Gallagher will actually slide all the way back to Higuain. Higuain now approaching him. He wants Pellegrini with him, but he's well back. And so he'll just calmly slide it out. Higuain for Anton walks, the right center back for Atlanta United. Now slid out to the right-hand side on his own half for Lennon. Now walks under some pressure from Matuidi, trying to loop it forward. It's gone straight out of play for a throw into Inter Miami. The distribution at the moment from Atlanta out of the back is quite poor.
Yeah, both Robinson and Walks are not great distributors. Bello is poor, not a defender, so the right attitude.
Higuain receiving defeat from Gonzalez Pires and playing his trademark ball out to a wide area for Nealis, who now plays it back with Figal in his own half. Now Gonzalez Pires trying to play it in behind towards Pellegrini, who wasn't yet making a run, so it'll be a throw-in down deep in the Atlanta end for Atlanta United.
That's the areas right now. When do Nealis and Sweat find the opportunities to get behind even that back four? LGP was looking at a long ball. Pellegrini played in. That lane was open. Sweat just didn't respond. But those options will be on when those fullbacks have to make decisions, when they go with Morgan or with Pellegrini. Both Nealis and Sweat should have opportunities in the overlap.
Atlanta without a few players due to injury tonight. Jurgen Damm, Marcelino Moreno, and Franco Escobar. Nice ball slid in behind there from George Bello towards Gallagher, but just left it there for Figal to win it off him. And he'll just calmly play out here with Nealis. He'll play it first time up towards Morgan, just a bit over his head. Now recovery by Robinson. His first touch was poor. He just looped it back to the keeper, Higuain. Will now try and play on the one touch and then volleys it away up towards Heinemann in the middle, who can receive well and finds Castro on the right-hand side, who will slide it now for Brooks Lennon near the halfway line. Now here is Emerson Heinemann, the former Bournemouth and Fulham's central midfielder. Now Laurentowicz pinging a long ball out towards Bello, making a run forward. Nealis has recovered it and will now just keep the touch in front of the touch line. Morgan now slid in there by Nealis. He's not running at this defense. He's got Higuain to his right. He'll slide in Gonzalo Higuain. Here is Gonzalo Higuain strike, and it's well saved there by Higuain. It's spilled out towards Higuain. Higuain just recovering in time to claim there, but it opened up for Gonzalo Higuain to have a go. Higuain not handling it totally cleanly.
We just talked about Morgan. How important has he been for his team throughout? But the ability,
how intelligent.
Absolutely. The ability under pressure, because I'm telling you, when you're playing those pockets between the back four and the midfield four in those little zones, and you turn, he gets away from people, and that creates opportunities for Higuain. Well done, Morgan.
Not only that, did you see that the pass from Nealis was bad? And he recouped the ball even when it was very difficult to get it. Not only that, he kept the ball to the exact second to give the ball to Higuain.
It's a better ball that time from Nealis as he slides it in towards Morgan on the right-hand side. Trying to loft it towards Higuain, tracking the header Remedi. Higuain trying to take down, appeals for a high boot, and it will be a free kick to Atlanta United. Gonzalo Higuain, the culprit there.
We just see the chemistry growing between those two right now. Morgan always looking for Higuain. Higuain so smart. They've combined together.
And Morgan too, believe me. When I saw that he was running, he didn't give the ball to Higuain 1 second earlier or 1 second late. He gave it exactly the perfect time that Higuain will match the ball and shoot it. And unfortunately for us, Busan was well prepared there, and he got the rebound.
As Guzan went out, play it out from his own penalty area, lofted out wide towards Lennon, who'd made a run forward. Now in the middle, getting turned there, Remedi away from pressure coming from Matuidi. Now Remedi trying to pick out his next pass. Matuidi herring him, puts in the sliding challenge. He's won it now. Morgan pulled there by Remedi. A couple of challenges coming in. The question is who is the yellow for, and it's going to be for Eric Remedi. I think Morgan wasn't really too pleased, so he kind of pulled his shirt in return. And in the end, referee Ismail Elfath awarding a yellow card for Remedi for slowing down the counter, and a first booking for Atlanta, and a free kick taken quickly for Matuidi. Now, slid out to the left-hand side with Pellegrini, going to try and play the 1-2 with Sweat, who instead play it back with Pellegrini. Nice interchanging there on that left-hand side. Now Sweat in towards Higuain's first-time effort is blazed over the bar, but Higuain picked out a moment in the penalty area. Good work there from Sweat down the left-hand side.
And we've become dangerous on both sides as well right now. We used to be a little bit one-sided with Morgan, but now with Pellegrini stepping up in the last few games as well, and Ben Sweat getting also a better understanding, we've become a more balanced team. We can go out wide, we can attack centrally, which will cause any opponent problems.
Laurentowicz now under some pressure from Ulloa. Been a little bit of a challenge. Free kick awarded. You're again hearing the sounds of the supporters in behind Inter Miami's goal in this half in the north side of the stadium. 360 allowed in as Lennon gets a touch forward. It's way too heavy and left there for the former Atlanta United center back, Leandro Gonzalez-Pires, who is able to marshal it out of play for a throw into Inter Miami down the left-hand side, halfway in their own half.
And you got to give a back four with Will Trapp and Matuidi also a lot of compliments, because the back four is trying to find options up front, and our marking is tight. We've done a brilliant job impeding the opponent to make any kind of progress.
Now up towards Adam John for Atlanta United. Nealis is able to win it back for Inter Miami and slide it back to John McCarthy. I think that's the first time I mentioned his name tonight.
Yep.
Hit long up towards Victor Ulloa on the halfway line. One back by Hindman, who's able to get out of his feet for Laurentowicz. 10th minute of play. Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0. Now here's Anton Walks in the middle to try and carry it forward. Now slid in towards Remedi. Shoved off it there as it's played back to Walks. Now here's Lennon on the right-hand side. Slid back with Walks. Tries to play now for Robinson. He's going to get some pressure here from Ulloa. Has to pick out the next pass. It's in towards Gallagher. But instead plays it right at Nealis. And it comes out for a throw-in. Diego Alonso applauding his right back tonight. You can tell at times when he's played it down that near side, Alonso's had a lot to say to Dylan Nealis. I think he's trying to bring him along.
Yeah, not only that, Ulloa is playing in a different role today. He's very much up front.
He's very advanced, no question. And I think he's trying to lead the press as Lennon will try and play it in behind towards Castro. Now chested down by Sweat and Trapp. Just calmly playing it there for Gonzalez-Pires, who can now carry it forward for Inter Miami. He's instead giving it straight to Adam John. Gonzalez-Pires able to win it back and play it here with Trapp. He's just kind of buzzing all over.
It's called the inverted triangle. You play with one holder and two up high, which are Ulloa and Matuidi. Will Trapp is just sitting in there. In the past, remember, was always Ulloa and Trapp together and only one attacking guy.
Yeah,
so,
doble cinco.
See.
Now he's playing, Ulloa is playing
much
much higher.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's only 10 minutes. I think this is the best 10 minutes I see this team play because of what they generate. They really having a good control of the ball, a good passing. Everybody's putting the ball exactly where they have to, like now.
Pellegrini now receiving the long ball from Gonzalez-Pires. Now Pellegrini in behind there towards Sweat, edge of the penalty area. Draws the attention of Lennon. Now Sweat back with Pellegrini. Wants a run there. Plays it for Sweat on the left-hand side. Now trying to hit the early cross. Takes a deflection. Comes for Will Trapp in the middle. Now Trapp is going to slide it out for Figal and makes a run forward from center back. Figal getting turned on it. We'll slide it back with Trapp in the middle. We'll play with Matuidi. First time back here for Gonzalez-Pires. All 10 outfield players in the Atlanta United half right now for Inter Miami. Gonzalez-Pires carrying well forward. Now 25 yards from goal. Poking it towards Ulloa. Plays the 1-2 and Gonzalez-Pires, who tries to strike. Trying to pick up the bottom right-hand corner, but it's gone just wide there. Not a bad effort from a center back, we should say.
You can call me optimistic, but like I said, it's only 11 minutes. I don't care. If we can play 11 minutes like this, and we can play another 11 minutes more like this, and then we can play 40 minutes like this is a great team. It's just that we have to get in rhythm, and I think that now it's going to be a serious problem for Diego Alonso when he's out of back, because it's a big name that we invest a lot of money, and he doesn't fit into this. I'm sorry, this is my humble opinion.
Well, we'll see. He wasn't given much of an opportunity with Higuain. I think that's probably an equalizer. Atlanta United trying to play out from the back, trying Pressure arriving from Miami as they play within their own box. Guzan lumping it away up to Castro, who now has it back here with Anton Walks. He's got to find his next pass. And Walks is going to send it long and easily cut out there by Gonzalez Pires. Now Matuidi trying to flick it out to the left-hand side. Didn't exactly get it correctly. And it will be looped out for a throw-in down the right for Atlanta United. Sounds of Vice City 1896. It's almost bizarre to feel a sense of atmosphere now at a game, given how long it's been. Gonzalez Pires poked out a play for a throw-in.
I was there in the first game in LA when we were all there.
You and me both.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And this is, something that we desperately need to get our people on the stands. But we have to be careful. We have to be, following the protocols. We don't want anybody to get sick. We are not selling tickets to the game.
These are invitations only.
Invitation only for people that they were behind gate number 2.
Right, they're already at the stadium, so you might as well let them in. As Trapp wins the ball back from Miami, left there from Higuain. A nice interchange there between Matsuda and Higuain, who's now darting forward here for Inter Miami. Now Higuain allows some runners to join him. Higuain slid in towards Matuidi. Matuidi in the penalty area. Center cross for Higuain, just past him. Now Neal is coming flying through the box to try to play the next ball. Enters Higuain. First time strike, takes a deflection and palmed over the bar for a corner kick to Inter Miami. Last ditch tackle there from Miles Robinson to deny Higuain his second for the club.
I hope millions of people are watching this.
Classic counter attack with the two big guns involved.
Matuidi's ball is gorgeous.
Higuain, the ball from Matuidi back in, falls for Nealis, and then all of a sudden Higuain pops up again. And what a great tackle, by the way, by Walks or Robinson to prevent that goal. An easy tap in for Higuain just did not happen, but what a great attack. Pace, power, precision.
I should say a great return ball from Nealis as well.
Everything.
Into Higuain, everything but the finish. We give credit to Atlanta for the defense as Morgan whips the corner from the left-hand side with his right foot, headed away there from Brooks Lennon. Now Matuidi laid back for Morgan. He is onside Morgan. Onto his right side, hit another cross. Figal going to go for the back post, but Guzan out to catch. And will now try and start the break with a throw out for Gallagher. The Irishman will get there just ahead of the touchdown. Higuain putting pressure and put the arm out and just pulled him down by the shirt. And it will be a free kick to Atlanta United. And I think Stephen Glass, the Inter manager for Atlanta United, saying, well, if the earlier denial of a counter was a yellow for Eric Remedi, then why isn't that a yellow for Higuain?
Well, different last names, man.
It is just a foul rather than a yellow for Higuain.
It's smart. The head referee you can't influence, but you can influence the fourth official in a smart way. That he goes into halftime and goes, you know what, I think the coach of Atlanta might be right. You can put some doubts in referees as well.
Given away by Gonzalez Pires at the back, trying to draw a foul, but instead it's Heinemann sitting in the penalty area with Gallagher. First time into Adam John, now trying to retreat, plays it with Remedi. Now Miami able to get numbers back in defenses. Laurentowicz slides it right to the right-hand side for Brooks Lennon, crossed into the penalty area. McCarthy tracking the air, and will catch rather easily. Quarter of an hour gone, remains Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0.
And that's a great word right there, easily. His starting position is so good. He reads things really quick for a guy that hasn't played day in, day out for 2 years. McCarthy has been huge for this team, including Figal, who's been huge in the last 2 games. And how good has this team been by building on the success against the Red Bulls, building on the success against Houston, by starting out today again, 50 minutes with some pretty darn good football.
Oh, yeah.
We're building something, Buildup.
I'm telling you. Fernando the Builder.
Gonzalez Pires trying to play a long ball in behind. It's well over the head of every Inter Miami attacker. Now out for a throw-in to Atlanta on the right-hand side.
You do bathroom restorations?
I do everything, man.
Okay.
Except windows, I do everything else.
I need you.
One minor tactical switch is Pellegrini and Morgan temporarily switch flanks as Bello has given it away to Ulloa. Now Higuain back with Matuidi. Intricate passing there is now Higuain receives on the left-hand side, trying to ping it out towards the right with Pellegrini, but Bello with a step in the way, and one back by the Atlanta United left back. Now given away there by Remedi into Figal, and now Trapp getting turned on it, and will carry it central into Higuain. Back with Will Trapp now. Thought he was going to play in Morgan in behind, would have been a decent idea, but just wasn't going to time it right. Probably would have been offside. Is now it slid back to Figal, and Gonzalez Pires in the center circle with Ulloa. So they back touch now for Matuidi, able to get it to the left-hand side with Ben Sweat. Good cycling of possession here. Atlanta, though, getting up the pitch. Matuidi with a dinky behind towards Ulloa. Was caught there by Laurentowicz as he was making a run in behind, and it'll be a free kick to Inter Miami down the left-hand side with exactly 17 minutes gone. There'll be a free kick to Inter down the left-hand side. Remains 0-0 between Miami and Atlanta.
Some outstanding football again. And just going back to El Presidente's point, if Pizarro was in there, those 1 and 2 touches that they played, it's not going to happen. Matuidi, Higuain, Morgan, Pellegrini, the ball's moving faster than Atlanta
Even
can
Nilis,
react.
Figal, Ulloa, everybody's in sync. You can call me whatever you want, but if they were wearing blue and red shirts, they could be Barcelona.
Morgan with the free kick from the left-hand side, whipping the cross, and Guzan out to punch. And he doesn't need to get rid of it, only as far as Trapp, who tries to volley through the penalty area, and it's gone well wide there, and out for a goal kick to Atlanta United. As Trapp, I think, probably the messages, and Thomas, we talked about this in pre-matches, don't get hit on the break. And so if you just hit a steaming shot that goes wide, you've given the ball away, but it allows you to reset your defense.
Yes. Interesting part, too. And if you go 10 years back, you expected wingers to go end line and get crosses in. One of the great disadvantages is when you put a cross in and you lose possession, you're still at the end line. So earlier crosses become important because when it turns over, the balance defensively is better. Just to give you another example, Chris, absolutely. Okay, it wasn't that goal, but at least we get our organization and we can't get hit on the counter or break.
Ulloa now providing the pressure here for Inter Miami, running at Guzan, who just hit it long. Sweat has won the header. The Laurentowicz does as well. Trapping plenty of space in the middle, receives the ball, plays it up towards Ulloa, receives it back to goal. Felt like he was fouled, but instead has won it back. Now sitting behind towards Higuain. Higuain is in here. Higuain trying to get turned. Another last-ditch tackle from Miles Robinson, dispossessing Higuain at the final moment. Higuain appealing for a penalty, but it is a tremendous challenge from Miles Robinson, an MLS best 11 center back a year ago, to deny Higuain. And now Atlanta play through the middle with Laurentowicz, stinging out to the right-hand side. Brooks Leonard's come forward. Way too heavy of a touch there, and Sweat has won it back. Now slides it in towards Morgan, who again is playing down the left for the moment. Sweat is bombing on. Morgan now cutting inside. Morgan slides it back here with Will Trapp. Ulloa, though, with tremendous defensive work to create that earlier opportunity for Higuain. Now Nilis into the feet of Pellegrini, cutting into the left-hand side with Higuain. Now Trapp hitting that switch out towards Sweat. He's in some space. Knocks it down and towards Pellegrini, but it's cleared there from Anton Walks and booted out for a throw-in to Inter Miami. Good work there from Sweat, trying to pick out Pellegrini, and it will be a throw-in for Inter Miami.
Okay, Coach, explain to me this. This is a secret weapon. Ulloa is doing a completely different,
He's almost playing as a number 10, but
exactly. He's not playing as a number 9.
It's like a pressing. It's a pressing number 10.
Yeah, I was trying to think what exactly, but it's a completely different player and a completely different mission.
We've seen that in the last 2 games when he actually didn't start, but he came on for Morgan, where he operated a little bit in that right zone as well. He's probably right now the closest to Higuain from a central position. And one of the great attributes of Ulloa is his work rate without the ball. He can go places. He's a good passer over short distance, which you need in there. He's a guy that can win you a ball back high up the pitch as well, and then he can feed Higuain. So
he went from holding midfielder to number 9.5.
Yeah,
and
you got to give Diego Alonso some credit by using the player's skill sets. It's a little bit like
look at this. He's the one
Ulloa was applying the pressure there on Guzan, who hits the ball long up towards Castro. Second ball, though, is picked up by Emerson Hyndman. Castro is running beyond him. He'll slide him in on the right-hand side. Castro with a cross in off the back of Gonzalez Pires. And out for a throw into Atlanta United. 20 minutes
Marcus,
gone. Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0.
Llorente from Atletico Madrid, that played that is number 6 for Real Madrid many years. All of a sudden, for Diego Simeone, became a second striker. Scored some goals against Liverpool, obviously, to put him out there. And nobody's ever seen that skill set of Ulloa before.
No.
We're doing it right now.
John receiving, but try to slide it for Hyndman, given away. Good tackle in from Matuidi now. Pellegrini going to try and hit it long towards Morgan, who can receive with his chest. Now just needs a passing option. Carries into the middle, slides back with Pellegrini. And now Ulloa with Trapp, just pinging passes here. Gonzalez Pires now in his own half towards Ben Sweat on the left-hand side, carrying into the Atlanta half. Slides it short there with Matuidi. Spots the run of Morgan, who's running off the shoulder here of Walks. Morgan now will receive with 2 defending him. Walks trying to marshal it out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to Atlanta United as Morgan poked it away fully over the byline, and a goal kick for Guzan to take.
Can I see the replay, please? From
I should say on the Higuain chance, do you think he should shoot first time with the left foot rather than trying to cut onto his right?
I thought initially, yes, he should, but I'm not going to doubt Higuain is one of the best strikers. He might have seen something, a tougher angle, couldn't go far post, tries to cut it back. And I'm telling you, he was so adamant about the penalty.
Yeah.
He even continued with the referee about 30 or 40 seconds later, just to give him one of these. Hey,
yeah,
we haven't seen the replay, so it's tough to judge, obviously, from our vantage point.
Figal now into trap as Miami have one possession now down the left-hand side through Sweat, who slides it back for Gonzalez Pires in his own half. Atlanta are trying to get forward and put Miami under some pressure, but Trapp doing well to calmly play through the middle and slide in behind. Sweat is beyond the defense. He's onside on the left-hand side. Now cutting inside. We'll play it here short with Morgan in the penalty area getting turned. Morgan now finding Will Trapp in the middle. Trapp looked like he's going to line up a strike instead. Cuts around the defender, Laurentowicz.
Nice.
He's clipped right in the middle. And it'll be a free kick about 23 yards from goal, right in the middle of the pitch, which you'd presume Higuain will fancy.
Well, let's calibrate the missile.
It will be a free kick nearing on 23 minutes gone. Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0. And it will be Gonzalo Higuain, presumably over the free kick. Morgan will stand next to him as well. They'll have a brief conversation over the ball. Referee Elfath establishing the wall just a few yards into the 18-yard box. So it's about 25 yards from goal. Dead center, middle of the pitch. And I think Higuain might have sights here for goal. He scored, obviously, the tremendous free kick take against New York Red Bulls last midweek away from home, and now looking to summon a similar amount of magic here. Whistle sounds from referee Elfath. It's actually a little bit of a routine. Higuain takes it a strike, a deflection. It's just placed wide there for Gonzalo Higuain. It was a little tap to him from Pellegrini, and Higuain hit it as hard as he could towards the bottom right-hand corner. Took a deflection. It's a corner to Inter Miami.
Very well rehearsed. You see Pellegrini go, where's Pellegrini going? Slowly walking up to the ball, manipulating the ball such that he can have just enough to go past the wall. And I'm telling you, that takes a wicked deflection.
What's going on, Pipa?
And it will be a corner for Inter Miami to take down the right-hand side. Higuain continuing to have conversations with the referees. Morgan whips into the near post, headed away there from Bello. Only as far though as Pellegrini, lofted to the right-hand side, staying onside Morgan. Now Morgan drawing the attention here of Lennon, just trying to get something away towards the area. Bello winning it back, now cutting inside with his right foot trying to get it away. Pellegrini trying to get there first, but instead he's left it here for Emerson Hyman to run onto it. Hyman running down the left-hand side, losing his footing here on the pitch at the Inter Miami CF Stadium. A throw-in for Atlanta. Referee, or rather manager Alonso wanted a free kick, or a throw-in rather, to Inter Miami. And Remedy is won a free kick.
What a wonderful set piece. We were all thinking, what is Pellegrini doing? He's not going to take the shot.
Yeah.
And then he touches the ball so nice, and what a shot by Higuain. So close and yet so far.
Remedy now with a little shove into him there from Figal. Advantage awarded by the referee. Now on the left-hand side, it's Castro who switch flanks, who slides it back here with Emerson Hyman. Hyman now for Bello, the left back for Atlanta United. The 18-year-old came through the Atlanta United Academy. It's given away there by Atlanta to Matuidi. Tackled off it there, cleanly in the judgment of the referee, Elfath, by Miles Robinson. Now Gallagher on the right-hand side. Going to slide it back here with Anton Walks. Walks for Robinson. And now Bello. I should say it is quite remarkable as Bello gets around Pellegrini for an 18-year-old starting his 14th MLS match tonight. Just
nothing.
And it's a sign of normalcy. It's just a regular thing. Gonzalez Pires winning it back for Inter Miami. Tries to slide it forward, but gives it away straight to Anton Walks. Now Adam John getting forward. Matuidi nearly dispossessing him. Just about getting out of his feet into Bello. Now Gallagher getting turned. He goes down. Referee unmoved as Gallagher went down. Matuidi now trying to carry forward. He's being pulled in every direction. Free kick awarded to Inter Miami. And he'll just leave it for Nicolas Figal to take.
Again, the relentless pressure in all parts of the pitch. Not allowing Atlanta to get any comfort on the ball, which was so much different 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Defensive posture and the attacking posture has been good. The only thing missing is a goal or two on the scoreboard.
I should say one dynamic of the game tonight is the pitch has already been played on today. Full game between Fort Lauderdale CF and Forward Madison. So there are times where you see the camera switches on television. It does look a bit chewed up. It doesn't look as though it's affecting the play. As Matuidi, it's a long ball. Morgan is in behind here, into the penalty area, and Morgan, or beyond Anton Walks, tries to slide it across into a dangerous area, and it's come out for a goal kick to Atlanta United. Morgan wanted a back post response from either Pellegrini or Higuain. Instead, it's come out for a goal kick. He's also arguing that it should have been a corner.
And again, very animate about it. And Morgan is an honest player. Both Higuain were close as well as going, hey, that's a corner. It looked like it was a little deflection as well, but Atlanta, goal kick, restarting the attack.
Now in their own half, Robinson for Bello. And I played up towards Adam John, who receives the first-time touch in towards Gallagher, but it's Remedy who recovers it. Back from John for George Bello. 27 minutes gone. Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0 at the Inter Miami CF Stadium. You are hearing the sounds of Indeed supporters at the ground. Matuidi trying to win it back off Laurentowicz, be able to get out of his feet to find Robinson. Plays it to Remedy on the halfway line, or rather Heinman. Heinman now towards Gallagher, gives it straight to Victor Ulloa, and Matuidi playing out of pressure, finding Figal. We now get Miami moving with a nice ball towards the left-hand side with Ben Sweat, who can carry forward into space. Higuain was making a run in behind, but instead is just left short there for Ulloa. Ulloa, not too many options. Miami quite pressing on, as they did in the opening quarter of an hour. Keen to keep possession here. Figal in towards Trapp. Now up towards Morgan, playing in the middle. Now towards Pellegrini. Going to try and play it, slice towards that left-hand side with Sweat. A bit too close to keeper Guzan, who will come out and claim it and slide it out first time here for Brooks Lennon.
Ulloa is everywhere.
Yep.
You can see him playing in the left, in the right, in the center.
See Matuidi also coming forward as well to try and press as Heinman receives. Ulloa trying to harry him. Matuidi looking for the pressers around him as Robinson forced to play it back to Guzan, who takes the first touch towards his middle. Guzan now trying to play it out towards Castro. Easily read there by Trapp and natted down for Pellegrini. Good pressure there. Pellegrini carrying forward. Trying to cut inside. Left here for Higuain. Higuain letting it run. Higuain getting a strike straight into Laurentowicz. And it's deflected away to John Gallagher of Atlanta United. We'll try and get running forward here. Nealis with a strong challenge. Did it come off of Gallagher last? It will indeed be a throw-in to Inter Miami. Stephen Glass and Gallagher furious here at the lack of a word of a free kick as Nealis put in a strong challenge. But it's judged a play-on situation here. Stephen Glass, the Scot and Inter manager, was manager of Atlanta United 2. And now going to have a word here with the referee, Ismail Elfath, just to say those protests were a bit too strong.
Shut up.
Glass trying to hang on to the full manager title, given the run of results. It looks ever increasingly unlikely, but definitely a chance for him to manage at the top level of the American game.
It also seems like that the positions on the field are better defined right now. Even if Ulloa sometimes goes back, all of a sudden Matuidi pops up in that space as well. The relationship between Trapp, Matuidi, and Ulloa is absolutely brilliant, allowing Pellegrini, Morgan, and Higuain to do their thing.
Off the throw, and Inter Miami quickly getting it cycled out to the left-hand side. Sweat and Matuidi. Now Matuidi getting the ball from Pellegrini. Poked in towards Ulloa. First time flick out towards Sweat. Knotted away there by Lennon, but only as far as Pellegrini. 4 on that left-hand side. Sweat first time in towards Matuidi. Offside flag will come up down the near side as the cross is whipped in there by Blaise Matuidi. There'll be a free kick down the right-hand side for Atlanta as the offside flag comes up. Half an hour gone in this one. It remains Inter Miami 0, Atlanta United 0.
I hope you guys are watching this because it is a great game.
Hi, Mom. She's watching in Amsterdam right now.
I don't believe.
3 a.m.
I was going to say, it's 2:40 in the morning. You have your mom being up.
A little cognac, you know.
She just came back from...
She's 93. She doesn't sleep well, so why not? Watch her son. Hi, Mom.
Sweat.
I know, my hair's long. Sorry. This is my friend, El Presidente. I hang with big timers. Yes, Mom.
Free kick now down the right-hand side. Brooks Lennon will take it for Atlanta. Inter Miami really just keeping numbers in the Atlanta half, trying to make it difficult for them to play out. And now Lennon will wave. Anton walks forward to take it.
93, God bless her.
Yeah.
And now walks. Hitting it long up towards John, who does win the header off of Ben Sweat, but easily runs there from Gonzalez Pires, tries to marshal it out of play. And out for a goal kick to Inter Miami. Can't honestly remember too many goal kicks in this one for Inter Miami. Atlanta creating almost no chances so far.
What is that, the good cheese from Holland or the beer?
Gouda,
Trapp
Heineken,
playing it out of his own
Amstel.
area up towards Higuain. Tried to flick it first time there up towards Morgan, but Robinson
Red light
stuffing it out.
district.
Remedy given space to charge forward. Now running here at Matuidi, slid out to the left-hand side with Gallagher edge of the area. Trying to cross, takes a deflection off of Nealis. That'll be a corner to Atlanta United, who have yet to have a shot in this one. And they might try and effort one here from a corner.
Yeah, and let's be real honest, Chris. You could arguably say that their top 5 or 6 players aren't on the pitch for various reasons. Injuries, Dam, Barco.
Yep.
Moreno.
Martinez out
Martinez.
due to his ACL.
I'm sorry, Martinez.
Joseph, yeah.
Joseph
rather than
Martinez.
BT, who was sold
BT was
to
sold.
Al Nasser in Saudi Arabia. Corner to come down the left-hand side, and it looks like it will be Brooks Lennon to take it.
Hey, we don't care.
True.
Whipped into the penalty area or towards that 6-yard box.
Nice.
McCarthy off his
Nice
line,
again.
able to punch it away. Now picked up here by Remedi on the second ball. Closed down by Matuidi on the right-hand side. Now Remedi trying to work against Matuidi, tries to ping the cross off and does so successfully, being another corner to Atlanta United. And if you look at their attacking stat sheet, it's extraordinary. No shots on target, and these are their first corners of the match as well. Got almost nothing going in the attack.
We've improved in set pieces too, just real quick. Corners for and against, so much better than marking, so much better in attacking second balls, not allowing opposing teams, as we did early in the year, to get back in the game.
Another corner to come in from Atlanta. Lennon will swing it in towards that back post. Header just loops up there. Gonzalez Pitas is trying to deal with it by carrying it forward. And he tried to dink it around there. Matuidi forward here for Gonzalez Pitas. Tries to play it long in behind towards Pellegrini. Walks is going to have to come back and receive it and slide it back to Guzan. Has to just lump it away first time. Out towards the right-hand side. Gonzalez Pitas is going to try and take down with a first touch. Appeals for hands. It's not given. Morgan now going to try and win it off of Bello. Will try and play it down the touchline. Going to let it run out here. And it will be a free kick to Atlanta United just by the corner flag. Morgan just catching George Bello there. And it will be a free kick.
I was going to tell you that a little anecdote. When they announced the Atlanta United team, I was by chance in Atlanta. That was back in 5 years ago, 2017, I think it was. No, 2013. And I met the owner of Atlanta United,
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank. And I told him, I said, one day we're going to have a team in Miami, and I will do them major bet right now that we're going to beat you in and out. And they say, come on, man. We're going to have a better team than yours.
1-3, baby.
Earlier.
We're going for the fourth one in 1 year. We're killing this team. Mr. Black.
I should call.
Don't blink, Blank.
I should call Blank and tell him, listen.
Right.
Guzan with a long ball up towards the halfway line. Now Higuain just colliding there into Matuidi, probably occupying the same space. Pellegrini, though, able to poke it on here for Ulloa. Ulloa now getting turned, playing with Trapp in the middle. Feels some pressure from Heinemann coming and just slides it back here for Gonzalez Pitas on the halfway line. Gonzalez Pitas into Matuidi. Flick there for Trapp. Up towards Ulloa in the middle. Bit of stasis right now